Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Taneytown Athletic Association meeting for January 14th, 2026. So we'll open the meeting. We have one person that would like to, I'm sure, provide a report to us. I think we're waiting on somebody else, but while we're doing that, we'll get you to jump right on in.
All right, I'm Kyle from soccer, and so far our registration is open. We have our older kids, which is our Ursula division, staying open until the end of February, and then our in-house folks will be open until mid-March. The Ursula teams will be starting practice in early March, while in-house will start in early April. The only other thing I had was we're using Robertsville Park, Northwest Memorial Park, and then we're possibly adding another location at Runnymede Elementary, depending on registration numbers. I think we have 101 registered as of today, so we'll see.
Anybody have any questions for Kyle while he's here? Okay, did you have any questions or anything for Lorena while you're up here first?
Not right this second.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I do. I don't know if you want to sit with that. I was just thinking of the, I sent out the email with the blackout dates, of course. The fishing derby. In the past, we've done both.
Right.
Because obviously that's a Saturday, prime in the beginning of your season, right? Exactly. And all fields on deck, basically. You need everything you can get. So, I think we can work together again like that. It's been working well the past couple of years, I feel. Parking is going to be tight, obviously. I have not heard yet when Wance is going to be doing their yard sale flea market thing.
That was the problem. The bigger problem last year is because we weren't able to park there.
Right.
Do you know when I didn't look into your schedule yet.
The fishing derby is Saturday, May 9th.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we do it, like our Ursula schedule, we don't really have control over that. So once we get that, then we'll put the in-house teams around it to try to help the parking issue.
And then the other reason, or the other benefit, I guess, for both of us, with you guys being there on the same day as, would you consider offering your snack shack again for
Sure.
the hot dog and drink for the fishing derby contestants? Okay, great. So we'll just do the tickets like we've done before, and then at the end of the event, I'll come and we'll reconcile the number of tickets redeemed and pay you for those. Thank you. We appreciate that.
No problem.
Yes, we appreciate that very much.
Works out for both of us.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Well, and does it give you a little more concession sales with like parents maybe buying other stuff?
Like people, honestly, some of the people that are coming getting a hot dog and drink buy extra things, so that helps too. And then just the way we do the schedule now for it helps us. So
Okay.
it'll be fine.
Okay, good. All right. I think we're all set on that. That was
And yeah, thank you for offering that.
yes, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And then, so we'll
You want me to
get
go ahead and read off
you'll
the,
go ahead and get the
okay.
reports that you have and.
All right, sounds good. So from field hockey, Nicole is reporting that they have a middle school team and a high school team entered in a winter indoor league at All-Star Sports Center. Both teams have been very competitive. They are going to be opening up their registration for their fall season in a few months. So, and then they're going to be submitting a receipt to me for some things that'll be using up their remaining balance for their FY26 allotment. Yeah, so that's that for field hockey. And baseball, registration is now open for spring baseball, closes on January 24th. Their next board meeting is on Saturday, January 24th, 6 p.m. Anyone who is interested in coaching for baseball should plan to attend, as the board will be voting on coaches at that time. Evaluations will be on February 1st and 15th. Parents will be contacted with specific dates and times for their child's age group. They will once again be selling discount cards for $10 each when they're printed. They're going to share information on where and how to purchase. So we'll help publicize that as well. And that goes for any fundraiser, for any organization. We can help share that information. That's it for baseball. And then lacrosse, they held a Try It clinic in December, and it was a huge success. They had lots of new players interested in signing up for lacrosse. Their registration is open, closes on January 31st. As of right now, they have 9 teams. 4 boys teams, 4 girls teams, and 1 co-ed team. They are still looking for more 5th to 8th graders for both boys and girls teams to finish off the rosters. Practices will start at the end of February, with games starting mid-March and going through the end of May. And they also have their Spirit Wear store open, and that's set to close in February to have orders before the games start. They do plan to do food trucks again this year at games, as another fundraiser, as well as a cooler raffle. So that'll be good for them. I have not heard otherwise, so I'm assuming they're sharing with football again, using the football field and practice field for their spring season. So we've been fortunate that those fields are not in use in the spring for other organizations, so that these two can share.
Sounding like their numbers have gone higher.
Yeah, so that's good.
All right.
I don't know if Stephanie's going to be able to join us.
I mean, we can just go on, and then if she comes, we'll get her to jump on in. So we'll just talk old business, and of course, we're going to discuss the Memorial Park expansion project.
And I wish, once again, that I had better news, but I don't. State Highway and County Forest Conservation sent us review letters. They disapproved again. So the engineer is going to be revising based on the review comments and resubmitting the plans again to those 2 agencies. This is, they still did not, they didn't provide enough detail for the forest conservation. They didn't provide enough detail on the reforestation or afforestation areas, and also they did not show changes that had been requested before. We talked about the black walnut trees that the forestry person at the engineering firm put in near, and also eastern red cedars in the bioretention facilities, which that's not, I'm not a landscape architect or an arborist, but I mean, we all know, I mean, you know, cedar trees, they get large. You don't want those, that's not a good setup. Anyway, so things like that had not been addressed from the previous rejection letter, if you will. So very frustrating, of course. It's automatically going to be pushing us behind. Oh, and I'm sorry, for State Highway, again, some things that just had not been addressed again. So we've got, you know, some repeat comments again. So,
Raised to our point of contact?
what's that?
Has this been raised to our point of contact?
Oh, yes.
Sarah?
Oh, yes, yeah. I really don't know what to say, folks. This is automatically going to be pushing us back a month, probably 2, because it's going to take the engineer time to revise, hopefully correctly, the plans, and then resubmit. And then both the county and the state have 30-day windows, allowed windows. I think the state has I know the state has longer, but they've been working on faster reviews with us.
More like a 2-month delay, right? Because engineer
That's what I'm thinking.
30-ish days, and then 30-ish days for state.
Well, the
so probably
engineer
like
better
60.
get something together and resubmit before 30 days. Yeah, so,
Yeah, and we can obviously go into that a ton bit more, you know, our next meeting, and kind of put our heads together, see what
Yeah.
else we need to do.
right.
But yeah, okay.
I'm still optimistic and hoping that we get final approvals and we can get an RFP out this spring sometime. The construction contract with Morton Buildings is signed, down payment was made, so they're ready to go. They are ready to go for whenever we get the grading situated where they can start construction. Again, I wish I had better news, but Stephanie, you just walked in, but State Highway and County Forest Conservation rejected the revised plans again. So back to the drawing board, and the engineer is going to be revising the plans and resubmitting. I think you caught that, a 2-month delay on that.
Do you want to keep going, or do you want us to stop and put you on the spot?
You want to jump up, Stephanie? Yeah, go ahead. We can do that. Yeah,
No, you're good. And then just give us an
grab that
update.
microphone.
Yep, get the microphone very close to you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so for cheer, we have a competition on Sunday. So all 3 of our full teams will be competing. Our sideline teams are now complete. They competed their last at Christmas, December 20th in DC. I think they came in 3rd, so they did really well. Our winter teams are very busy right now. I just refitted them. We have 3 teams for a change this year with about 40 kids. So, moving right along, hoping for a good season. And then softball has registrations open. They are working on a bingo fundraiser for May 16th out of Union Bridge Fire Hall. We're anticipating about 80 girls for 5 teams. That's what we're hoping for. And then
She's so excited. Look at that. She's like, that's it. I don't have to keep going. How long is registration open for softball?
till March 15th.
Okay. And practices will start? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Stephanie? Okay. All right, you're good. All right, then we'll jump back. So the update on the fiscal year 2026 assistance requests and projects?
Yes, so soccer, softball, baseball, football, and field hockey still have some funding left. Well, field hockey is going to be wrapping theirs up. So the funds need to be used by June 30th. Don't wait until the last minute, please. Our finance department doesn't like that. And then I think everybody's pretty much knows what they have in mind to use those funds. Yeah, so we should be okay with that. And then, do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah,
It
keep
just
going,
leads right
'cause it
into the
just
fiscal
rolls
year
right into the next
2027.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. I sent out the email last Thursday, the 8th, that had all of the allotments in it, based on the funding pool, which is smaller, this year. So that, you don't have to tell me exactly what you want to use those for. If you don't already know, that's fine. The funds will be earmarked and put into the budget. So it's fine. Again, you'll have until June 30th, 2027 to use those. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So just because you weren't picked up on the mic, all right, so Kyle asked about the allotment, if that was a firm figure, and also who makes the decision about the funding pool. Basically, I do on the initial amount, and I do that based off of what absolutely has to be done in the parks. So I have to separate that funding exclusively, just for our department's purposes. And then, okay, what do we have left over? What do we think, we have left over? And then that's how that allotment figure is pulled. Yeah. Right, yeah. No, it's a good question. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all know times are tough and funding is tight for everybody. So, be optimistic and hope for better times in the future. See?
We also need to keep in mind that the county still has money available.
Yes, thank you, Jerry.
There is $80,000 in the self-help grant for the rest of this fiscal year. So those requests have to be in by like the end of the month, I think, or the 1st of February. February 4th.
February 4th
There it
is the deadline. Okay. Okay. All right. I know softball was intending to, and hopefully, yeah, Stephen or somebody can attend the meeting because that is mandatory. It's a requirement, yeah. Oh, you're going to be attending the meeting, okay, all right. So keeping fingers crossed for them because I know they want to get some funds for field dirt and such.
I think Jenny said something about wrestling, might have put something in about mats or something.
Well, Kyle, can you think of anything to go for? $80,000. Yeah. Let me know if you need any help on the application or anything.
It's worth a shot. I mean,
All right. Yes, and I also sent that list of blackout dates in an email the same day on the 8th, last Thursday. Lots going on.
any questions so far? New business? Funding considerations for Memorial Park expansion project?
Right, and this is really specific to the organizations that are going to use the expansion, the fields, and more primarily the building and the concession and kitchen area. So with the funding cuts and rising costs and the protracted delays in the project, getting it off the ground, we've had to strip the multipurpose building down to bare bones. Initially, I had budgeted to purchase and get installed basic appliances for that kitchen, a stove, a fridge, a freezer, ice machine. And then for the, I guess, auxiliary like hot dog rollers and pizza warmers, the organizations would be on for those. But I'm at the point now with the project where I don't even have funding to purchase those. So I guess we'd like to open a discussion on, well, first of all, I guess the question is begged, who's going to be using this the most? I'm assuming it's going to be you guys, soccer, because you've got spring season, fall season, and you're very proactive and active in the concessions. So. Correct. Yeah, I asked Jenny with lacrosse if she was interested in it. So it's primarily going to be you guys. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Well, and that's the thing. I get that. So I don't recall off the top of my head what your allotment was this year. Yeah. I know. I mean, you guys are the largest organization. You've got the highest number of registrations, and so therefore you get the largest percentage of the allotment. So if you did decide to donate that back to the city to purchase the appliances for the kitchen, that's a good question. I mean,
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or whatever, and then just buy a pizza roller or
right. right. Right, yeah.
Right, it's helpful, but it's not like a necessity.
That's entirely up to you, and that's why we wanted to open up the dialogue to find out, your thoughts on it. If you'd rather us, instead of giving the allotment to you to spend on, whatever, reimburse you for the, whatever expenses, taking those funds then and investing it into fitting out the kitchen. So right now, stripped out, there's going to be steel counters at the front, 2 windows, and, basics like, a wash sink and then the utility sink, because you have to have those for code, and a couple of other counters, I think, but that's pretty much it. Like I had initially in the original plans, back when it was feasible, we had stainless steel, the prep tables or counters or whatever in the middle of the kitchen, portable ones, you could move them around. And then we had the appliances, the refrigerator, freezer, ice machine, an oven, and so everything was stripped out except for just, the front counter by code. So
are those types of items able to be put in through the self-help with the county? Would that be,
yes, exactly, because Stephanie presented the same question with, she's going to be pulling together a grant application for Cheers, is it spring board floors or spring floors? Just spring floors. And same thing, because we're not at the point of putting the building up yet, that's not really going to look good on a grant application. The grantors are going to be looking at that like, oh, your project's not even close, so.
well, I'm not saying it has to go in for
But
this one.
eventually, yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Because you figure the one that's now is the end of the budget. So the budget will roll over, they'll have a fresh budget for September.
Right.
So that's generally the one that normally gets like eaten up. And then
Right.
there's not much left now, so I don't know why there's such a surplus. I mean, I guess nobody put in for it this time or didn't need anything. So, when you're getting closer to that, again, it's might not even be ready for the fall. It might be next spring or whatever. But like what Kyle was saying is like, just go bare bones for now. If they have to pick up something to get started, and then maybe the next available request, put it in to then stock up the rest of it.
It's possible. I don't know how the county views that, if they view something like that as, okay, well, the city owns the building, so why should we, the county, fund, appliances or whatever for the
City owns the
cities?
fields and they put dirt on them.
Well, that's true. You're right. It's potential.
It's for the recs.
Right,
and park,
exactly.
Like, it's for the kids and organizations.
Right.
I mean, you're just supplying the building and supplying the fields, but those things are needed to make it run, so.
Right, yeah, that's true.
An athletic association, so.
Items that are at Memorial Park in the existing building, are they going to, can
Footballs, baseballs, yeah.
it's, okay, it's owned by
Yeah.
football?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I didn't-
exactly. Yeah, no, yeah, that's not, and we don't have any surplus there, it's not, like, yeah. Right, themselves, yeah. Okay. So then is the consensus, keep your allotments, keep the building bare bones as it is, unless I can, you know, reach out maybe to seek some sponsorships or donations. I mean,
That would be great. to
I
see
don't
if
think
that would
anybody's
work.
gonna care if I get, you know, if Home Depot or Lowe's has a dinged up stove or oven or whatever, or dinged up refrigerator or something like that, that we can get at a discount maybe. Yeah. Okay, okay. All right, so then is everybody then, do you think we're all on the same page of just, okay, just leave the building as is, bare bones, and then we'll just address, you'll address needs as you come across them or come out there? Well, that's the thing, again, proprietorship, I'm not sure. I mean,
that's future talk, but
right, right, yeah, yeah, that is true.
I have a contact down at Home Depot that I can reach out to,
Oh,
what they might have or what they, might be willing to do.
oh, that would be
That end.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'll look into that.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. Yeah. We'll be happy to give all the accolades to them that they want, you know. Generously donated by Home Depot or whatever. Okay, then I guess that's what we'll do going forward.
For now, yeah, until we can have that conversation as we, yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure the last time I talked to them about something like that, there's like a process. It's like the county's self-help thing. Like you go in and you tell them what you're looking for. Form you fill out, and then it like has to go get approved or whatever. And it might not even be that they give you a dinged up one. It might be they just give you
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okie dokie.
maybe I can at least get the application or
Yeah, I'd love to have the information. Yeah, that'd be
Alrighty. Does anybody else have any questions for Lorena? Because I'm gonna make you go up front and talk. Good. Then our next meeting date, what I have is March 11th. Is that what you have? So March 11th, right here, 6:30. Guys, so I appreciate you coming tonight, and Happy New Year, and here's to another fun year.
Yes, indeed. Let us know if you need anything.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, Chris talked to me about this.
All right, we ready for the next round?
Yeah.
Welcome to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for January 14th, 2026. Please note that all members are here and accounted for. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you received your packet. With that packet was our minutes from the last time we met. And that was November 12th, 2025. Did everybody get a copy of that? Had a chance to look it over? All right, with that, do I have a motion for approval of the minutes from November 12th, 2025? Motion, do I have a second? I second it. All right, is there anything further to discuss? All right, with that, all in favor of approving the minutes from November 12th, 2025, please signify by saying aye. 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 All right, we are good. All right, so we're just gonna jump into, again, unfinished business, and I don't know how much you want to talk about the Memorial Park expansion project again, but
Oh, no, I
We'll
just wish I
throw it.
had better news. that's for sure. But
I mean, I have a concern for sure, like, we understand that, again, everything was denied, but if who we're paying did not take the time to review the last notes and then submit it again, like, how many people are looking over to determine that it's good before they submit it?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
do you get to look at it? Does Jim get to, like, who gets to look at it?
It goes directly to the agencies. And then at this point, because we've had so many resubmissions and rejections, we've just told them, save the paper. We're asking for emails. I got a digital set of the last submission that was rejected. So I glanced through it just very quickly. But again, I'm not an engineer.
Right.
I'm going to have, this time, when they email it to us, I am going to have Andrew, who is Drew Gray, who's our director of planning and zoning and is a certified planner. I'm going to ask him to take a look through it
I think
carefully.
we need to go that way.
And see,
It's
yeah,
safer
exactly.
because we're paying for a company that's not.
Well, interestingly enough, and I guess knock on wood, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't received an invoice in months. And I think that they
Well, that's
probably
probably a good
realize
idea.
that they shouldn't be sending an invoice until we get those approval letters.
Is there a way of saying we don't want this submitted again until a second set of eyes at their company looks it over?
One would hope that second and third pairs of eyes have been,
Look like it.
doing, but you're right, I don't think so.
Right, I think
Somebody's
with
not
Andrew
double-checking
looking it
that.
over as well, I
Yeah.
mean, I hate to use his time to do it because that's not for him to do, but
Well, we're
I
gonna
mean,
track how much time he spends on it, and then we're gonna go back to the engineer and say, we
Yeah.
had to have our staff member
Right.
review this.
And I feel like
So,
that needs to- right.
These 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever are being,
you're gonna have
deducted.
to,
Yeah.
right.
Are we allowed to ask for an internal audit trail of emails?
I'm assuming we can, we're the client, we can ask for anything, but that's a good idea.
Because if it's not, so like auditors have to do this a lot in general, but like, you go and you say, hey, I want any communication that you guys are having back and forth, because if it's not getting escalated to their senior stakeholders before it's going out to be submitted or be approved by state highway and whoever else, like that's a problem, and it's a failure of their controls. So if we're allowed to ask for that, those internal communications, we should, because this is what, like the fifth consecutive time that it, like this is absurd.
I mean, obviously, it's a failure on their side to provide any insight and delaying the project even longer where we have grant funding attached to it. Like, this
Grant
is
funding plus
sensitive.
increased in costs
Yeah,
by
exactly.
hundreds
It
of
just,
thousands of
it
dollars. Like, this is-
continues
this
and
is insane.
continues. The longer the delay, the more expensive it gets, and we've got grants tied to. I mean, there's got to be some accountability on their part for
Right.
that lack of
Indeed,
detail.
right. When we started this project and we secured those grants were going to pay for the majority of the construction costs for this project. Now, the longer the delays occur and the more the costs rise, those grants are making less and less of an impact on the project cost.
Well, now the grants don't cover the entire cost, from what
No.
I remember, right? So
No.
now this is getting eaten out of the general fund as well. So,
Well, we have to use the general fund for this anyway, because the grant is not a front-loaded, it's a reimbursement grant.
Right.
So we've got to front everything and pay all of the contractors. And then, once the project is complete, we submit our final report and reimbursement
Right.
request,
right,
and
but
then
it
we
was
But at
get
still-
least there's
before it was still full
reimbursement,
recovery
right.
model, plus something like this.
Right.
Now it's not, now it's no longer full recovery, now it's partial
Now it's
recovery,
more on
plus you know, money that we're having to expend that we shouldn't have had to begin with. Like
Correct.
that's my issue with it.
Yes.
Right, plus we're sitting here talking about budget cuts and cutting stuff that they're not gonna get now.
Right,
Like, I mean,
exactly.
on
Because
top
it's
of
not
the
just
extra
impacting that project. You're right, it's impacting everything
everybody.
else.
Yeah, like we shouldn't have to have that conversation where now we have to cut stuff that you guys potentially can use for your activities. Like that's not.
Right.
I mean, that was the whole purpose of this project to begin with, is to
Right.
provide them more fields, right?
Exactly.
But again, I mean, I hope that it can go a little bit high. I mean, if Andrew can do that, that would be great. But I think it just needs to have that conversation
I mean, if it keeps
with
going,
the
we're gonna have
company
to cut out a
that
field.
it needs to, yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's gonna have to, they're gonna have to foot the, you know, I feel like, I know, there was a contract in place, but again, it's the lack of details of not looking and just submitting real fast, and then
Well, it's not. They haven't been submitting fast though. As part of
Well,
the,
that's
is
the
the other
now
problem.
we have to ask
If they, were,
them.
if they were doing it fast, then fine, but like they're waiting forever, submitting
then
it, and then
just
it's getting
pushing it,
denied,
yeah.
and then
Right.
waiting forever, getting denied. Like,
Right, exactly.
RFP to hire the group that
There was no RFP for the engineer.
oh, okay. 'Cause I
Yeah.
didn't know-
Engineers are considered professional services, like auditors or, you know, the city attorney or what have you, you know, whatever. It was a solicitation. Basically, I just issued hey, we're looking for an engineer for a project in our Memorial Park. Call me, let's meet up out at the site, and we'll tell you what we're looking for, and then you give us your price proposal. So, well, we do have a contract. We do have a contract with them. There just wasn't an RFP. But I don't think it speaks to anything like this situation. But
has to be CC'd on any internal communications on the project for when it goes back and forth. Like not just past stuff, but moving forward.
yeah,
Because I know the vice president or something like that, or
Yes.
one of them is their main point of contact.
Yes,
So like
and
if,
he
if it's
has
not going to
been-
his eyes and he's not approving, that's a problem.
I don't know.
Also,
He's been on all correspondence that's been going back and forth between the city and the engineering firm.
Is it
the
happening
VP.
internally though? Like that's what I'm.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
that I
like
don't
when they're
know.
like what I'm saying is, as they're passing things back and forth, saying, hey, I've done X, Y, Z. Can you give us a second set of eyes and make sure that you agree that I've checked these boxes, kind of thing. Like we should be CC'd on that at this point too. I think.
Should never see the same thing twice.
Yeah.
A resubmission.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Do we know that
The
this
lack of
engineering firm has done projects like this previously?
No. No.
I get the feeling they're in over their head.
It seems like it. Well, the staff has changed from when we first started out with them, how many years ago? I know it's been 3 years. So that played a role in this, but.
I don't know if I guess maybe I don't understand it completely. So if I hired someone to build my house and they weren't doing the things that I, in the contract that need to be done, like, okay, you're not building my house anymore. Like, I don't understand how come this is I don't know. I just don't know.
Right.
Like,
It's also costly to change it.
it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah,
Change
it's
engineers and have
complicated.
Yeah.
the engineer.
Right.
I'm inclined to give them one more shot and then we change.
But then are we started? I don't.
Yeah, I was
think
gonna
we're
say,
back
I
to
don't
the
think we
drawing
can
board and
do it,
starting
oh,
from
I don't
scratch.
think we
If
can
you
do it
change, you'd have to
over.
start the whole thing from the beginning.
But I feel
Right.
like we need to have a second set of eyes, a third set of eyes before they even submit.
Yeah.
And then have some kind of thing that they sign stating that, they start paying us for every
what I
time it
was just
fails,
thinking.
they should be
That's what I was
paying us.
thinking.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a legal thing that we can do, but I feel like,
But I don't even know how this is legal.
Right,
This,
yeah.
this almost seems,
It's
you know,
almost, right, yeah.
well, it is for, yeah.
What type of engineers are they? What's their, are they civil engineers? Are they?
Yeah, well, they have a variety of specialties, if you will, but yeah, there is civil engineering in there, as well as other, well, they don't have a landscape architect on staff, obviously. I think it's just a forestry person or forest, I'm not even sure what the title is, but
again, I think
And a
that
licensed
if it's
landscape
something that they don't have a specialty in, that they would bring somebody on with that specialty to provide that if we're paying for a service. Like, that's the frustrating part, I
Right.
think, to all of us. Like, okay, so I may not be versed in all of this, but then I'm gonna reach out to you because you're versed in it, and then that's part of the whole
Andrew had the
project.
skills to-
But
to
that may
look
be
it
part of
over,
the
or,
problem
you know,
is
so
that
like he
they're
would know what he's
not.
looking at. Okay.
Well, they're not. I mean, obviously,
If,
they're
if
not.
they're civil engineers and they're reaching out to different other groups as far as mechanical, electrical, and the environmental reports and those types of things, if they budgeted for a certain amount, they may not be reaching back out to those groups.
I see what you're saying.
Because when you're doing a specification, sections and the blueprints have multiple sections. If you look at your specification, you look at your blueprint, look at the still of whether it's being done in their house or if it's being done by different groups.
Right,
Because it may be that they've overreached their budget and they're not truly reaching out to the people that, having environmental reports, having all the different groups
right.
that need to go into it, and whether or not they tried to do it all in-house instead of reaching out to those specialties.
Sure, but definitely worth exploring on that. But yeah.
Does anybody have any additional questions, concerns? Alrighty then. Update on general park improvements?
Not much happening right now, obviously, with the cold winter weather, but Public Works has been doing, a few things. They're right now working on cleaning up the vegetation around the pond at Memorial Park. I don't know if anybody remembered over the summer and, the past few years, the cattails have just gotten out of control. So, and the little scrub trees and whatnot. So they've cleaned that up significantly, and it looks really good. So they're going to do the same at Roberts Mill. There are a couple of cattail sections that started up there, and so we want to nip that right in the bud before those cattails start getting out of control there as well. They are also I volunteered to do this as well, and anybody else is welcome, but this spring, when it warms up a little bit, but before all of the insects start coming out and snakes start stirring around and all that kind of stuff, we're going to head out to Bollinger and tend to that tree planting area that's kind of in the middle there of the open meadow across from the pollinator meadow. That means, taking off tree tubes that have split apart, straightening them up, staking them back in, all that kind of good stuff. Not sure. It's going to be weather dependent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not before. There was a group. Was it the Scouts?
So the Scouts planted those.
Okay.
Yeah, those
There
particular
was
ones.
a group, because I went out with them one year.
Are you thinking of I think it's the Monocacy Valley River Board?
I
Monocacy
don't know.
River Valley
I'm not
Board?
sure, but I
Yeah.
did go out with
Yes.
them
Yeah.
one year to
They-
do that
Yes,
for
they've come
cleanup.
out there a couple of times.
Okay,
to do
because they
that.
did have a bunch of, kid volunteers,
Right.
and we were, yeah.
Hours and such, yeah.
Okay.
So other improvements that are in the budget that we have not had a chance to get to yet, that are going to be done in the spring, are going to be replacing the deteriorating wooden claddings on the pavilions at Memorial Park. And the claddings are it's the section between the roof and the ceiling on the outside, on the ends. So right now they're wooden. They've been wooden for years. It's they're starting to rot and deteriorate. So we're going to be replacing those with vinyl siding for those claddings. Also, going to be replacing some worn-out picnic tables here and there. We're good on the grills. Everything looks good there. We've got to replace some older benches in a couple of the parks. The Public Works guys have been doing a great job going through and switching out benches, the old ones with the new black slatted ones that we like, just the uniform look. So they're going to continue doing that. We're almost there with that. And this has been on the list for a while, and it just keeps getting bumped down because of other priorities that come up. But beefing up the pump track, the bicycle pump track at THS Park. Right now, it's gravel, and it's sad. I mean, it's not really a pump track. It's just a track. I mean, the pumps, if you will, are like
That little.
this high. Yeah, I mean,
The little humps.
might be a woo for a
It's
remote
a-
control
it's-
car,
it's-
but
it's
not
a
for
mini hump
bicycle.
track.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I need to get some funds out there and build that up a little bit more. So we'll see if we can get that. Also, we are creating and installing a new door at the back of the football field house at Memorial Park from the kitchen area out to the back concession area. So hopefully we can do that in-house. If not, then
Like there was rodents and stuff.
oh,
like
yes,
that.
yes, yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
That's
Brian
okay.
actually went out there. He was eyewitness, took some pictures
I
and
thought I saw
everything.
like a crane or something.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I live on the street. You'd think I would.
Well, it was during the
Go more
daytime. I
observant.
mean, you were probably at work or something, yeah. But yes, they did. They cleaned them all out. They took them down, laid them down on rests, and cleaned them all out and put them back up, sealed up what they could, as much as they could. Now, yeah, I mean, if some critter's determined to get in there, it might find a way. I don't know if it'd find its way back out, but anyway, it should deter the majority of it, so we should be good to go on that, yeah.
The passing thought on that I had the other day, is there a hatch or something in the bottom where you can open it up and look in for debris?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's how they that's how they saw because
Okay.
they were opening that up and like, wow, look at all of this, it's packed full of nesting material.
Maybe that's something that should be on the once or twice a year list to open the hatches for maintenance.
Oh, that's a good point. I can add that to my inspection list for that park.
I love you.
Is spring and the fall inspections, so I can check those to see how. Make sure it's clear still. But yeah. Do you want me to just keep rolling?
I mean, did anybody have any
Oh, sorry.
additional questions? Okay.
Alrighty then, update on 2026 events. So we still have a few dates that are listed on the schedule as TBDs. That would be for the Hapkido camp, the tennis clinics, yoga in the park, and the movies. So Hapkido, that is confirmed. Stephanie Sullivan with Toes Hapkido is going to be looking at her calendar, come up with some dates. And Sean Essid is willing to lead the yoga in the park sessions again. So she's going to look at her calendar as well. And the movies, we're looking at dates and movies. So those will be firmed out and then put on the schedule. But otherwise, we're in good shape. We're already getting vendor applications for the Wine, Art, and Music Festival. And I put a general call out for food vendors for the events at which we have them at. And we are almost full. I think I'm looking for one more food vendor for the Harvest Festival, but everything else is filled, and waitlisting some
Wow.
events. Yeah, so that's awesome. We did decide to charge our food vendors for the Independence Day celebration. Now, this year, that's going to be Friday, July 3rd. We decided to structure it so that if they register and get their form in by a certain date, and I apologize, I don't recall the date right now. I feel like it's April 1st or something like that. It's $50. After that, it's $100 that they pay. For Wine Fest, we charge a flat fee of $100 no matter what. That's just because
To food vendors?
Not sure, but no, food vendors, just the food vendors. Yeah, the craft vendors are still at $35 for a 10 by 10 and $55 for a 20 by 20, which I think is very reasonable. I mean, except for the spring flea market, and that's of course $10 for a 10 by 10 and $20 for a 20 by 20. Let's see what else. I ordered the Easter eggs, the filled Easter eggs, 4,000, 2,000 candy, 2,000 toys for the eggs. So those will be coming in soon. So we're all set for that. That's March 28th for that event. I ordered more wine glasses, both the small 5-ounce tasting stemless ones and the full-size stemmed tasting glasses. For the wine festival. Those are going to be coming in soon. And ordered the fishing derby prizes, all the rod and reel combos for the prizes and all the little door prizes. So we should be good on that. We're going to be integrating some America 250 things into our events as we can. The last meeting that the committee, the Taneytown 250 committee, and I had last week, we discussed having committee members are going to have a table at our events at which we have vendors, or whatever. They'll set up. If we're going to have a table there set up, which we usually do at most of our events, they will have a table there with information on, the architectural scavenger hunt and, all that other kind of stuff. So starting to see some traction on that. But especially for the July 3rd celebration and the July 5th Family Fun Day at the park, too. Yeah, it will be. We did decide, I think I said last time, we decided to drop the 4th of July parade on July 4th, just because the initial feelers that I put out for participants, I wasn't getting anywhere.
A lot of people vacation.
Exactly. So
A Memorial Day parade.
exactly.
That's a big deal, so.
Indeed, right. So we're going to stick with the red, white, and blue run first thing that morning. I think that'll be popular. And people who like to run or walk, speed walk or whatever, they don't care if it's a holiday. They'll do it, kind of thing. So, and it's early enough that then they can go off and do their own thing for the holiday. We're good on that. And that's all I have for update on 2026 events at this time.
Right there. Does anybody have questions in regards to any of our events for 2026? Great job on getting that all together.
Yeah, we've got a lot.
For sure. Any other miscellaneous updates that you need to? On, or are we good?
One thing, the senior center, the Taneytown Senior Center donated a portable stage to the city, to us, and a couple of coat racks. So I took the coat racks because I thought maybe we could use those in the multipurpose building at the expansion project, they can use them, and they gave us the hangers too. It could be used for uniforms or jerseys or coats if people come in and just want to use them for their coats, whatever. The stage is a portable 2-section stage with 3 steps. The total size, once put together, is 8 by 12. So while it's not really large enough for us to use for bands, and we generally, except for the wine festival, we use the gazebo anyway. It's still good to have. It was free. They used it, they said, 4 times. So we've got it in the garage at our municipal lot. So in case an event is ever held here in the parking lot or down at the police station or, somewhere else, it can be rolled out to use. Yeah.
Gave the prizes for to have the stage set up and then walk up. And also when we were judging, to be above, a little bit above them as they're walking around. It would
be nice. Interesting.
Also to set the prizes up on it. the trophies.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
set the
oh,
trophies
yes, yeah,
Up there.
yeah. I could see that, possibly. Yeah. Again, it's not going to be large enough for our wine fest bands. They have to have a minimum of 12 by 16. So that's what we usually rent from Front Events. So get that in there.
That was nice
Well,
of
I have
them
that.
to donate.
Yes. So we definitely appreciate that.
All right. If no additional questions or comments, let's jump to new business, post-event discussions. First, the Christmas tree lighting.
Yes, and the candy cane hunt. It was bitterly cold, wasn't it? It was. Oh, it was bad, but it was still relatively well attended, I think, especially the candy cane hunt, although it seemed like after the candy cane hunt
They
was
all, like,
over,
poof.
poof,
Yeah.
75% of the crowd, I think, just disappeared. They left, which is fine, although it wasn't good for our food vendors there who didn't really do well. Husky Hut Coffee did well, of course, because the
Right.
everybody wants that hot coffee. Yeah, exactly, or hot cider or whatever. I think it went well. I think that the candy cane hunt, I think especially, did go better this year, I feel, than it has in past years. And I thank all of the volunteers who helped make that happen successfully. So thank you. And their family members as well. Yeah. Yeah, yes.
Some of the canes might have been hidden a little too well this
Well, that's all right. You guys are good. That was fun. That was neat.
It did go a little bit longer this time.
Right,
with
yeah,
that.
it sure
So, I mean,
And-
it did make it last a little
Right.
bit longer than like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and as we noted at the time of the event, when we were calling out, like, what was it, the older group, Jerry, I think that, the 11 and older, or 10 and older, or whatever, there were some pretty small 10-year-olds going over there. I don't know if, some who had already
I think
hunted in their
probably
age
the
group were
younger
hitting
ones
the
were like,
others.
Let me show you how it's done.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But, that's fine, whatever. It's not like we're going to stand there and, oh, hang on. Are you 10 or are you 7? Nope, you already did your hunt. Get out of here. Kind of thing.
Birth certificate. I
Right,
need to check.
exactly, right, yeah, no. So I think it went well.
Good.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything to make it better for next year, or are we good with the way it went? I think it went pretty good, so. Jerry's happy, so. Okay, post-event discussion of holiday decorating contest.
Right, so the winners were announced, prizes have been distributed. First place went to 3 Alyssum Street. They won a $100 gift card. They chose Food Lion. Second place went to 1 Alyssum Street. That was a $75 gift card. They chose Tony's Cafe. And the third place went to 5060 Harney Road. That was $50, and they chose Laughing Coffin. And I want to thank Laughing Coffin because they donated that gift card. I walked in with the credit card and I said, no, we'll purchase. Nope, they insisted on donating it. So I thank them very much. So
That's awesome.
That helps us because that's $50 that we can now put, towards something else, another event or whatever.
Or
It's
eggs.
very much appreciated. And I want to thank you all for judging the entries. I know it was a lot, to go through. And I want to thank Mackenzie again publicly for going out and looking at all of the entries and getting all of the pictures
Awesome
for us.
job, Mackenzie. Thank you for doing all that work.
Yes, so that was awesome. But yeah, so question, this begs a discussion, I think, because she did know, she was like, ooh, that 5060 Harney was way out there. For these contests, do we want to restrict them to within city limits, or do we want to leave it as it is and
Always
the
thought that it
21787
was.
area code?
Because I drove around to see them, and this is going out to the Harney Road one, I was like, I never even wanted to try because I'm like right outside, so I didn't think you were allowed to, but it was still fun. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever, it's not that far. Everything's far from
I
us,
think
so.
if they pay, if they've got a Taneytown zip code, they should be able to enter all the contests. I think that,
Be included.
Yes.
As part of the greater Taneytown community.
I would offer that we have had an issue trying to get people to participate, so if people want to participate,
Because there were
we
some
should
really good ones
okay
that
with
should
it.
have been in there. I was driving around like, oh, that has to be one. Oh, they weren't on the
Nope.
list.
I know, yeah.
I'm okay with, I mean, I didn't.
Okay.
Makes it fun for everyone to.
It does, and I like being, you know, inclusive, obviously. I don't want to exclude anybody. Well, I'm sorry, you're outside the official incorporated town limits, so you don't count. You can't
Right.
play with us, you know?
Yeah,
kind of
because
thing.
you want as
Yeah.
many people
Right.
to participate, so.
Yeah,
Because how many entries do we have altogether for?
like 14.
That was like down to the wire, too.
Yeah, yeah.
There were some really good ones, though.
I know, there were
were.
a lot in town that, the first year we did this, I drove around with the flyers and stopped. Your house is beautiful. Here, enter our contest, kind of thing. So we did get some, you know, some entries from that. And those people have entered repeatedly, you know, since then. So that's good because they were aware of it. They're aware of it now, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, that first year we had 5 entries. I'm like, all right, I printed off, like I said, a bunch of the flyers and just started driving around and looking for decorations and
I mean,
knocking
we
on
will
doors and
have
sticking
that
them in
by the
people's
next
doors and
time,
stuff like
though,
that.
right? Like our Taneytown newsletter? that we
Yes,
can
right.
put that
We'll
on
be
as
able
well
to-
besides Facebook?
Yes, better get the information out.
have to look at that cold spell we had.
That should be out in
after
physical copy now, too.
Yes, it is.
The newsletter?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not just Facebook, I don't think.
yeah,
I mean, I got one.
Yeah,
Yeah. right,
I'm just saying, with that, that's just extra publicity for.
right, to
yeah,
get the
To have that,
information
because I didn't think we
dissemination.
had it in time for.
What I was saying was that there was a big cold spell between Halloween and Christmas. And I know in the area I live in, people were not getting their Halloween decorations down. And many did not put, I mean, they decorated by the time we started voting. But there was a delay. It was so cold and so
Right.
windy. One of the big decorators in my neighborhood had everything off their big Christmas tree below down the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah,
So I think that probably hurt entries too, because people were still getting down to Halloween.
right.
So I think I think it was more the weather than.
I think it
people
did
not
play a
wanting
big,
to.
big factor this year, yeah, for sure.
Now that we have like a bigger panel, maybe that's something that we could do. Do like, you know, maybe like you did, like give us all like a certain amount of flyers or an area, assign 1 or 2 of us to it, and go around and just try to promote that a little bit like you did the first year, maybe try to get some new people.
I tried to share it multiple times on,
I
Not
know, I saw you
everybody-
sharing it, yeah,
not
yeah.
everybody is on Facebook, but.
Yeah, that's a thing too. So, yeah, so that newsletter, again, becomes another valuable vehicle for getting that information disseminated, for sure, yeah. Yeah. And I send flyers to the library, and they're kind enough to post it up, you know, on
Oh,
their
that's
bulletin
nice too,
board.
yeah.
So for people who actually stop and look at the library bulletin board, or the Carol Vista, you know, Clubhouse bulletin board, or, you know, wherever, you know, kind of thing. But we try whatever we can. So that's all I have on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Any additional comments on that? Okay. All right. Preliminary community survey results? so
Yes.
far?
Everybody get their readers out, their magnifying glasses for these results. And these are just the preliminary. So, so we'll discuss again next month. You know, as I'll share obviously keep sharing the results with you as they come in. You know, I'll do that, and then I think it's important to discuss the preliminary results right now because we're in the beginning of the budget process. So if there is something that's suggested by the community that we can possibly accommodate, then now's the time to look at that and look at putting that into the budget.
I forget which page it was on. It was somebody saying that, what about doing an African heritage?
Oh, I saw that, yes, the Nigerian community, yes, yeah, I saw that.
That would be one that, if we could get a community member that would help us plan it, organize it, I don't know how we would reach out to see if somebody's interested in helping us plan that.
Yeah.
But they are right, we do have a growing diverse population that might attend that.
It's possible. The only problem is that everybody sees how full this is. It's chock full. We would probably have to consider changing things up on here to fit something else on there. That was more of a hands-on event, like a festival, like that.
Even if we could find someone that would advise us this year to put it on the following year.
It's possible, yes.
Because I don't think it's something that would be able to be thrown together by June. It's more something
No.
that would need to be planned over. I don't know how we go about seeing if somebody wants to kind of help you,
Right.
I don't know that part of it.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, again, is the funding. I mean, we generally do not charge for our events, with the exception of the wine festival and the tennis clinics. Everything else is free. So, so it's a matter, again, of trying to get funding incorporated into the budget for additional events and things, but.
Sorry, was the ask there for a separate event for it?
Yeah.
I think I missed that comment. I'm trying to find it.
Page 11.
Yeah.
Top paragraph on 11.
Yes. So while Nick is reading up on that, I'm just going to summarize. So the majority visit our parks on a weekly basis. The majority use the parks for relaxation, walking pets. They consider the cleanliness and maintenance as above average, so that's nice. The number one requested feature, come on, everybody say it with me.
A pool or some kind of water?
Yes, pool or splash pad. Followed by more swings, real restrooms versus porta pots, more walking trails, also more lighting and more parking. Several suggestions also for a disc golf course. Now that has been floated for the Fringer Road side of Bollinger Park that is currently being leased to a farmer. That lease expires in 2030. So I think it could be considered for that because it's a relatively quiet pursuit or amenity. And there's plenty of room to accommodate a disc golf course on that side of the creek bed. I don't think that it would be intrusive on the Fringer Road residents if we did something like that. So that's something to consider. Again, but that lease does not expire until 2030.
Acreage on a disc golf course?
The required spacing, oh gosh, I'm not sure. For 9, is it 3, 4, or 5 acres, something like that. We have plenty of, we've got acreage there, yeah, for a full 18 course. We know we cannot afford to construct or maintain a pool or splash pad, unfortunately. Same with restrooms. We just don't have the funding for that. And in some parks, the infrastructure. And
Do all
unfortunately.
of them need infrastructure? If, like say we wanted to get restrooms in, I don't know, or pick one. Is it because there would be significant infrastructure costs needed to build out for those restrooms? Is that the cost, or when you say we can't afford it, or are we talking about like residual maintenance costs? Just
Both.
both.
Right. So, Memorial Park, we have water lines that run through that, so they would be more easily accessible there.
Water, but
The water
sewer,
lines,
is
water
it
and,
different?
water and
There's
sewer,
sewer
yeah,
there too? Okay.
right, yeah. Obviously, both of which you need
Oh, right.
for a restaurant, right. Roberts Mill, it's a little tricky, that's out on Roberts Mill Road. There's a water line, obviously, it goes into the building that we are currently leasing to Head Start. But to configure that for, a restroom, there's a lot that would have to go into the construction costs. And then again, we've got, as you said, ongoing maintenance and the residual maintenance
And
costs.
vandalism.
And yes, vandalism,
Locking
yes.
them each night so people don't sleep.
Right, I mean,
Just so I
you would
understand
have
the
to.
costs are.
That's
right.
just it.
You would have to open it and close it every night.
Unlocking,
Vandalism
locking,
issues, especially,
exactly.
I mean, it's been happening
Right.
everywhere.
Yes,
That I see a lot of municipalities.
yes, right, exactly.
I think it's like ongoing.
Yes, indeed. More walking trails, if we have the space and the funding, we can do that. We know we're putting in a walking trail around the perimeter of Memorial Park expansion area. I think a walking trail is slated for like Flickinger Park to go around that loop. That's more of a low priority because that is not a high-use park, so it doesn't really warrant the expenditure on that right now in the near future. More parking, well, again, along the same thing with kind of the walking trails, you need land, you need somewhere to put the parking spaces, put the parking lot. At THS, I've thought about this for a while, but again, it's about the funding. There is the strip of land that's behind the playground and the athletic storage building. We could put in parking spaces back there. People already park on the grass for softball games and such there behind the playground, that's fine. This would just be enabling, a structured parking area for that. There's going to be additional parking at Memorial Park once the expansion project is completed. Roberts Mill, there's nothing we can do there unless we use the small pavilion side where the tiny parking lot is and expand up. We'd have to go up into that tree planting area, and that's not gonna, I don't think that's gonna fly with the county. Dog park is one thing because that's not affecting
that's not
stormwater
a-
flow.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
The grass pathway down from Amicus, not affecting, stormwater flow or, and that was pretty much cleared anyway, except for a couple of little weed trees that we had to take out. But parking is a whole different ballgame there, so I'm not sure how much we can accommodate on that. And it really comes down to, I think, from what I gathered from reading this and from hearing from people, it's when sports activities are happening in the parks and people want to go there for something else, and the parking is, monopolized by, the athletics, and that's just the way it is. There's nothing we can really do. There's nothing we can do about that because our parks are multi-use. Memorial Park, we've got athletic fields, yes, but we've got pavilions there. We've got playgrounds. It's not just for sports. Same thing with Roberts Mill. So it's really hard to try to.
Everybody happy.
Right. Indeed.
The
Indeed.
problem, no matter where you go to watch kids' sports, it's
Yeah. More swings, that we can accommodate with playground when we go through and do playground replacements. The next two up on the roster are Flickinger Park and Roberts Mill Park. So we could add, some more swings possibly there. I think some of the people were commenting that they'd like to see more swings at THS Park. I'm not quite sure where we could put those there, especially if we're looking at, the back area behind the playground is already being used for parking, whether we pave that or not. I don't think it'd be good to expand the playground into that to add a swing set there, a range of swings. I'm not sure of the feasibility of that, because you have to have clearance, obviously, swing clearance. More lighting. I'd love to put more lighting out. It's funny because some people were saying more lighting. Other people were, less lighting. It's harsh. There's glare. So okay. Obviously, we need more athletic field lighting. But baseball is deficient on that. They have one field that's lit, and the others have little, salt floodlights basically that you can't play by in the evenings. So, love to get them some additional lighting on their fields there at Memorial. I do like, somebody suggested planting shade trees near the dog park, and we had considered that before. That's something that we can do relatively inexpensively.
Sun gets oppressive in the summer.
Yes.
In my community, when it first started our dog park, there were 5 trees planted, and the larger dogs basically tore them up so
They can't be
quickly.
inside the dog park, yeah. Not only, yeah.
And other things,
Yes. They water the trees themselves, and that's not good for the
Oh, they
trees.
were inside the dog.
Right, yeah. If you put trees in, if they're
that's
already
there,
then great, build the dog park around them. They're fine. They're mature, they're stable, they can handle a little urine, and stuff. But if you're putting, young trees in there, oh boy, you're gonna have to fence around it to make sure that the roots don't get saturated with something that's not healthy for the tree. Not going to enable them to thrive. So, but we can definitely look at putting them outside the fence, in a couple of areas, so that when they do mature, the shade will go into the dog park a little bit. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, that would be good, with some, bench seating. That would be nice.
Kate, those walnut trees over
Oh, yeah, there we go. They're black walnuts, perfect. And then the dogs could play with
there.
the black walnuts.
Give them something to eat.
Yeah.
Give them a snack.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Why
Yeah.
not?
What could go wrong?
Why not?
There you go.
I saw
Gotta laugh about it.
more dog waste stations.
Yes, more dog waste stations.
And actually, that's been going pretty well, I think, right? I mean, nobody's cleaning us out of bags.
No, we keep the bags replenished, so I think that's
But you're not going
That's
through
out.
a ton of them,
No.
nobody's abusing.
no.
Okay.
No. I say that, I better knock on wood.
I know, right?
Yeah, when we first put them in, the teenagers or somebody thought it was real fun to just pull them all out and just leave the string of bags flying like kites in the wind or whatever. So that was fun.
It hasn't happened.
No, so I think we'll be
That's
okay.
good.
Got out of their system.
Right, I guess. Novelty wore off for them. Any thoughts on what you read so far on the survey results?
I mean, I'll just throw it out to any, what do we think about more trash cans at Bollinger? I know we've kind of discussed it, that'd be
Yeah.
hard for the guys to empty, go down and go through the whole entire trail to empty that.
Right. The problem with
Or-
Bollinger, is that pathway is not constructed
Right.
for heavy vehicular use.
Right.
it can handle a golf cart max,
Could we
pretty much,
put another
repeatedly.
one maybe where the guys have to go and put their mower?
Yeah, I saw that. I read, somebody had suggested that as well. I think that was more recent, not
Okay.
on what the
Aren't
preliminary
there
results.
parks, aren't there
but yeah.
places that are like trash-free?
Yes.
Like, I don't even think there should be trash cans there.
It's
Don't.
carry it
People are
in,
gonna
carry it
throw
out.
their cans and all kinds
Well,
of junk on the ground then.
I know that no one listens to, to the rules, but you're not even supposed to be bringing anything. That's like, you have to take it with you. That's
Right.
the
A lot
rule.
of parks are
You
like
take
that,
it, you take it with you.
Right.
Because it's a beautiful park, and I feel like trash cans just,
Yes.
a car out. You know, and people
Right.
do dumb stuff like that, and
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I don't know, I just feel like.
I know, we've kind of talked about that before, about the nature ability and not
Yes,
kind
yeah.
of messing with that, but then people are like, I don't want to carry,
My dog's waste
all
bag all the way
for
around the whole
2
loop.
miles or whatever. I'm throwing it out for
Yeah.
discussion. I'm not saying I'm going either way, but I'm just saying,
Well, that
what
would be the only location
That would
that the
be the
guys
only
could, that the Public Works crew could access would be off the easement, going back on the mowing easement or what have you, to get to a trash can
That would
that's
be
put
the
there,
only place.
like maybe at the edge of the woods before you walk up,
Yeah,
to the
by the
pollinator meadow.
pollinator, yeah.
It's possible. But the other thing about that is wild animals. This would have to be a trash can with some kind of secure lid on it, obviously, because otherwise somebody, a raccoon's gonna come along and be like, and just, there's gonna be trash strewn all over the place. Possums, even squirrels will get into trash cans and make a mess. So, the one, parks that are more populated, more visited, often don't have that problem during the day. Obviously, that kind of wildlife is not out. In the evening, sometimes you have it, but it's not bad. It doesn't happen often. But, with Bollinger Park being a nature park and not frequented by, 50, 100 people a day,
It's just if it's about the dog bags, if the dog bags are biodegradable, then in theory, if you could put in like one of those little dog bags, like it goes in the ground, like bag, the whole thing in there, shoots down, and then it sort of goes like a septic tank, sort of.
oh,
Never has to,
Oh,
as long as
my.
they're biodegradable bags.
right.
I looked into those before.
Well, that's the thing, though. What if somebody brings their own
Right.
biodegradable bags?
So you're hoping, and then you're also hoping that somebody doesn't come along and throw their can in there, or
Right,
whatever.
yeah,
So
that's
there's other
true.
issues that come up, but in theory,
Right.
it's a good idea, if it was only.
Right, yeah, that's the thing.
Discussion. I mean, obviously, we think about it some more, and
Yeah.
have that discussion again next month. Just thinking about, maybe any kind of improvements, and obviously, Lorena's gonna give us an update before our next meeting too. So if you see anything that you want to discuss, obviously, we're gonna open it up for any additional discussions. Is there anything else that, like, caught anybody's eye that was like, ooh? And of course, the survey is still open for any resident to go on and give feedback. We ask, if possible, be as specific as you possibly can, just so we have a better idea, besides more activities for kids.
What's the
What are you
deadline?
looking for, so.
There's no deadline, it's open. I mean,
okay.
It's
I
open for now.
I don't
Just-
close
yeah.
them out, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So people can just throw in their
Right.
ideas.
So you can
And
follow.
in the next newsletter issue, blurb about the survey is going to be in there with the QR code. So the preliminary results that I sent you, 75 responses. As of this afternoon, we had 87. So not a lot in difference. So we need to continue getting the word out there and, you know, hey, take our quick survey and tell us what you think so that we have some information, some feedback from the community to go on.
The other one, there were a couple things that said exercise or something.
Exercise stations, yes.
Yes.
Once the expansion part is built out around that walking trail, I would like to apply for a grant to get some mini fitness stations. I don't mean mini like for, you know, kids or anything, but I mean like just like, here's a push-up or a pull-up bar, you know, or whatever. Here's not a push-up bar, right? You know, other things like that, you know, where a few stations along the walking trail. So that way people who are there, they can use that. If they're hanging out while their, you know, family members are playing, they can take a walk and do some fitness. But yeah, I definitely want to get some of those around. I don't think, somebody I think had suggested them at Bollinger. I don't think I'd like
I
that
don't know if that's
application there
appropriate
at
at
Bollinger.
Bollinger.
Yeah.
Nature park. No,
It's
that
just
doesn't
gonna be a
sound right.
nature park.
Exactly. And then somebody, I think, had also suggested maybe, if I'm recalling this correctly, around the walking path around the pond. I don't know. Again, I'm not sure about that.
That would get so busy.
Right. You've got people fishing there,
Yeah,
and you've
it
got
could
people,
be
you know,
dangerous,
walking,
yeah.
and already just sharing that space along with people who like to ride their bikes there and stuff like that. I think if you add you know, some fitness equipment stations along the side, then it's going to be even more. I don't know.
Well, you know, I'm going to say how old I am, because when I came to Taneytown, Memorial Park did have an activity station. So we're talking our age. I just don't think it was maintained, and
Right.
that was the
Yeah.
death of that. So
No,
if
I
we
like-
decide to do that.
I love the idea of the fitness stations where we can, you know, apply them. I love the idea that you had when you first came aboard of of like an obstacle course.
Oh, the
type
Ninja
of
Warrior
thing.
course? I
Yeah.
still think we should do
That
that
would
really
be,
badly.
that would be really cool, but, you know, where to put it,
Liability.
too, yeah. Yeah, oh, well, yes, the liability is always a concern.
Liability, Ninja Warrior.
Big
yeah,
sign that says you use at your own risk, right, so.
Absolutely.
And that statement is on all of our park rule signs, at all of our parks. Using this park and anything in it at your own risk, so, but regardless. Okay, any other thoughts on the preliminary results?
Not yet. Still early in the game, so again, we encourage all residents to go ahead and give us your thoughts, and next month we'll dive deeper into that, and if something like strikes your fancy, make sure we can discuss it and talk about it, so. All right.
Oh, one note, talking about trees at the dog park and planting trees elsewhere as well, reminded me, and I shared this with Kelly, but I'm going to share this with all of you as well. 7-Rupp, I don't know if you all know that name, one of the young FSK Junior Eagles athletes who sadly passed away from that accident that happened before the holidays. He volunteered for us. He did some community service hours with us. He helped out at Wine Fest, I think it was the 2024 Wine Festival, and he did some other volunteering in the park. So I would like for the city to plant a memorial tree at Memorial Park. in
Can
his
I
name.
donate that tree?
Certainly can, yes. I reached out and floated it with his dad. I already had his number from Seven's Community Service Coordination, and asked if there was a particular type, a species of tree perhaps they would prefer for him. I have not heard back. I'm not
Okay.
gonna, yeah, we've got time. I mean, we're planning in the spring. So I'll reach back out in March and see if they have
Do you want to do it like by one of the benches or like?
I can ask them if they have a preferred location.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah, to both of them. Yeah. I mean, I don't, are you speaking of cash owings? Yeah.
Wasn't, I
Yeah.
don't know, I just didn't want to exclude.
Right, yeah. Well, that's true, yeah.
Both on, I don't know enough about it. I don't know if they were both on the team or spots or something, but
It's possible, yeah. I don't have that family's contact information, but perhaps the reps do. I mean,
I can get it for you.
okay, all right, okay. Do you know them, like, or not know them, but like know of them? I mean,
Well, Cash and my kids used to bowl together.
oh, okay, all right. Would you feel comfortable reaching out to them and asking them if they'd be okay if we planted a memorial tree for them? Okay, all right, thank you, Jerry. And just let me know if they have a tree preference and a location preference.
Willingness to donate, so we appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Budget considerations for fiscal year
I have no money.
2027. For 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we know, the majority of our budget funding is going to be used for the Memorial Park expansion project. We have nothing left in our park impact fee fund, our restricted funds, for capital improvement projects. We are going to be taking money from the general fund to pay for the expansion project. And then again, when we get the grant reimbursement, then we'll be reimbursing the general fund for that. We will not get our own dedicated parks and rec funds until there is housing development in the city, because that's where we get our park impact fees. What do you mean, is it negotiable?
developer donates.
Right now, it is coded, it's in our code as a flat $1,000 park impact fee. So all builders on every residential dwelling unit have to pay the $1,000. If it's a developer and they're coming in and they are dedicating open space in the development for a community park, then they don't have to pay the additional fee in lieu of open space. So if they're not dedicating open space for a park or trails or whatever, they have to pay $1,500 in addition to the flat, non-negotiable $1,000 fee.
But we could ask if they wanted to put more towards the parks as like an incentive.
Hmm.
I don't think they're gonna do
I don't
anything
think
that's
so.
outside of code.
No,
But
they're
have
gonna
to change
do
the
what's
As
code.
a general
required.
rule, if a developer's not required to do something, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's usually
Even
how
if,
it
it-
works.
I mean,
No, they don't.
they won't.
Yeah, so like that would require a code update, which,
The entire code would have to be changed
no,
even if
no,
it
no,
was-
just the fee part, like,
Yeah,
so,
the fee.
not all of it, but that specific item.
Right, so, no growth means no funds coming in for us. It's a real catch-22 because without the growth, we don't get park impact fees that pay for improvements in our parks for our community. But growth, bringing in those funds, also means additional burden is placed on our parks and for our sports leagues, who get an influx of new registrations, of course, new population, new registration. So the demands just increase, obviously, right? Yeah, so it's kind of a sticky spot to be in. But regardless, that's where we are now. We are gonna have to push a couple of things on our capital improvement plan that we had slated for fiscal year 2027. We did have the Roberts Mill Park Playground and the Flickinger Park Playground were both slated to be replaced this coming fiscal year, but we don't have the funding for it. So I had a certified playground safety inspector check those playgrounds out. I have taken the courses, but I'm not certified. So I wanted someone who was certified, put it in writing, if we can push those playground replacements another year. And he said yes. So we are okay on that. So what we're gonna have to do is, I think next month, we're gonna put on the agenda to take a look at our CIP. I don't know if any of you guys, I know Jerry's seen a copy, Kelly's seen a copy before. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a copy. I'll send that out to you before our meeting next month, because there are some things on here that we are gonna have to revisit. We're gonna have to push the playground replacements for Flickinger and Roberts Mill up to FY '28. I think we had a renovation of, or retrofitting of the stadium lighting at Roberts Mill Park to LED from the old Halid, that we're not gonna be able to do that. And then Festival Park, we're gonna have to rethink that. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to rethink that. We know now we're gonna need ball fields. So we may have to just scratch out some ball fields over there at Festival Park. No lighting, there's no infrastructure at that property.
Nothing.
There's no water, there's no sewer, there's no electricity, there's nothing. But if we can maybe scratch out a gravel parking lot, put a couple porta pots and a couple of fields, then at least that gives them somewhere to practice and play during daylight hours,
Yep.
right?
Solar lights at Bowling are pretty decent.
Yeah, we could look into solar, at least for lighting, possibly, but that's where we are on that. So we're basically just looking at general maintenance, upkeep, and some smaller improvement projects. You know, like planting trees around the dog park, or, you know, painting the dugouts at Memorial, or, you know, things like that. Whatever we can do that we can afford, and especially anything we can do in-house with our Public Works crew, who are fabulous, and they do a
they've
great
been
job.
wonderful.
They're very skilled, so, you know, the fences that they've built, the dog park, all that's gonna say, they do a great job. So they've been saving us a lot of money.
No, we
on that.
appreciate them. We just have
For
to
sure.
buckle down, obviously, because we
Yes.
have something in our sights, and we have to get there
Yes,
eventually.
we have to get past the Memorial Park expansion project, and then we can see where we're at.
Yeah. Does anybody have any additional comments for Lorena? Questions? Okay. So, all right, we're going to jump to reports. Is there anything from council that needed to come to us, or we good?
Not yet.
Not yet? All right.
No, we didn't have the January meeting, so
Okay.
that got pushed because everybody was either out of town or busy, so we couldn't get a quorum.
Okay. So February, I guess, okay.
Yeah, February is probably going to be a very packed meeting, so.
Okay. Probably a very big one. Okay. Does any board members have any comments or updates they would like to share? A quiet bunch. All right. The next meeting that we have scheduled, I have it on my calendar for February 11th, okay. So February 11th, we're meeting here, 6:30 is our start date. If we have no further updates, questions, comments, I will take a motion to adjourn the meeting. I have a
Second that.
motion. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Second. All in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that's a wrap. We'll see everybody in February. Thank you.